Hey, Jenny Hale here. Part of our ongoing series just to raise awareness about trauma. Big T trauma, most people know about. Small t trauma, very few people know about. So today I'd like to talk about the different responses that people have to trauma. So bearing in mind that you may have a trauma that you don't remember at all, something that happened in your very early childhood that you had no control over, maybe even that your parents had no control over, that left you with some suppressed emotional response that wasn't taken care of at the time. And what happens is that when you get in situations now, in the present, that are reminiscent, that have some kind of association with that event, those emotions, those very young child emotions, will try to come to the surface. And your system will try to prevent that because those emotions were overwhelming and unmanageable at the time. And your subconscious has no idea that you could probably manage them just fine as an adult. So it's keeping them suppressed. So there are four main ways, broad patterns, right, of ways that people respond when there's a suppressed emotion coming up and they don't want to feel it. They don't want to deal with it. Some of them we're familiar with, some of them are less familiar. So basically, we've got the four: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Let me talk about the fight response because a lot of people don't understand how this manifests. The fight response is not just exploding in rage, putting your fist through the wall, that kind of stuff. It's not just the things that land people in prison. The fight response means that when that unpleasant emotion starts to come up, the first response that your system has is to pull out anger. So whatever it is in your current environment that is triggering that unwanted emotion, you will feel angry towards that thing instead of whatever the unwanted emotion is. So the way that this actually manifests, the way you'll see it happening in yourself and other people, is in irritability, large reactions of frustration to apparently small things, road rage, things like that. Being judgmental. So having strong opinions and being self-righteous about the types of people. So if somebody does something that is potentially stirring one of these unwanted emotions, instead of feeling the unwanted emotion, you'll feel like that person's doing something wrong. And you'll find whatever it is that they're doing wrong, and you'll be righteously angry about the fact that they're doing that thing wrong and they shouldn't be doing that. Now, the adaptive value of this is quite high because anger, and particularly righteous anger, like I'm in the right, someone else is wrong, gives you dopamine, and dopamine makes you feel confident and powerful, and it suppresses all of the unpleasant emotions. So the fight response can be very subtle. You might not even be showing anger. You might be sitting there calmly sipping your cup of tea going, it's absolutely atrocious the amount of makeup that young girls are wearing these days. That is a fight response right there. That judgmental, self-righteous thing, that is a fight response, a trauma fight response. So now that you've been kind of filled in on the more subtle things, start keeping an eye out in yourself and in the people around you for that use of anger as a defense mechanism, as a protection against some other kind of emotion that would be a lot more vulnerable. And I'll see you around for the rest of this series.